Recently, I was in Washington, D.C., and I had the opportunity to go to Arlington National Cemetery. Leaving the Visitors Center, you'll see a sign that says, "Welcome to Arlington National Cemetery, our nation's most sacred shrine." At the bottom it says, "Remember, these are hallowed grounds." Sacred shrine, hallowed grounds, those are words that you rarely hear any politician or public official speak these days. But when you go to Arlington, it transcends everything. For me, it's just the visual. Walking through Arlington, seeing the simple white markers bearing crosses or stars of David, this is just a tiny fraction of the price that's been paid for our freedom. As you see these markers, I'm often reminded of what General Patton said, that it's foolish and wrong for us to mourn the men who died. Rather, we should thank God that such men live. Now, the men that are buried, the men and women that are buried at Arlington National Cemetery, paid the price of wearing the uniform. Some of them gave their last full measure of devotion, and we honor them for that. We are thankful for the sacrifice that they made for us. However, there is a movement in America that is called Presentism, and that is being a chronological elitist, looking back on the past and judging those in the past by the standards that we have today. And they judge the past as if it's full of fluid possibilities, as if they should have known better, or they today could go back and correct or condemn or criticize the past because they didn't have the knowledge or the awareness that we have now. So while I was there, I took a short video of being at what used to be the Confederate Memorial. Let me tell you what motivates me. I am passionate about our country, our heritage, the things that we've been blessed with, and it's my desire to see them preserved and remembered for future generations. Some people don't care for some of the parts of our history, but history isn't there for us to like. History is there for us to learn from. Sometimes there's good examples to learn from, sometimes there's bad examples to learn from, but our liking history has nothing to do with the history. We need to be passionate about telling the true story of our history, the story of our history as it was written by the men who wrote it while they were there, and then we learn from it. To try to erase the past, to try to criticize the past, to try to condemn the past, doesn't do any of us any good. We need to learn from it. Today, I'm in Arlington National Cemetery, talking about our stories and stones. One of the things that I'm passionate about is that we remember our national history as it was. So I'm standing right in front of what used to be the Confederate Memorial. Let's take a look at it. And this is all that's left. A green tarp surrounding the base, and under the base, under the tarp, you can see what used to be the Confederate Memorial. Now, the memorial was given after the Civil War as a monument of reconciliation, of recognizing the importance of telling the complex and sensitive story, of telling the history that was there. The designer of the memorial, Moses Jacob Ezekiel, had this to say: "In reality, no one in the South would have raised an arm to fight for slavery. It was an evil that we had inherited and that we wanted to get rid of. Our struggle was simply a constitutional one based upon states' rights and especially on free trade and no tariff." And he had a reason for doing it. It's not that we're celebrating the rebellion, but it was part of our history. And you don't negate our history by removing it or erasing it. That's what they do in totalitarian countries. This has been Tim Schmig. Thank you so much for watching to the end. For more information on our national heritage, please look for my book, Stories and Stones. I'll put a link down below in the description. This tells the story of the monuments, the men, the moments, and the manuscripts of our national heritage. Let's celebrate our national heritage and let's tell the story.